to me probably 5 years ago. It's really what turned me on to the whole area. It's like, this is not Silk Road. This is about me, Tom Emmer, being able to do what I want to do without Big Brother telling me what I can do and what I can't do. Just the freedom that it could create is phenomenal. But then it also taught me this. You know, I traveled when I first got into Congress to places like Nairobi, and I toured the slum that was there, and how people were already using this technology, not specifically this, but they were already using a online technology in Africa that we weren't using as prevalent here at that point. And then it started to be about, think about that young lady, the young woman, in a culture where women they're not allowed to handle money. And there was a story in the age of cryptocurrency of how this empowered young women in cultures where they had not been given that power. And it goes well beyond my little universe about my freedom. Think about what this does for people all around the world that are trying to improve their everyday life. So anyway, I think once we start getting these stories not only to resonate, but to stick with people who have an ideological perspective of fear, right? Oh, if government doesn't get involved, that guy Hirsch, he's going to take advantage of these three people out there. No. What Guy Hirsch is doing, what eToro is doing, is empowering that individual out there to actually reach their full potential and make their own decisions. So I think that's how you turn this into a people issue as opposed to a partisan issue. And the other one, Guy, quite frankly, and I'm kind of laughing while I'm saying it because I didn't expect it to feel this way, but I already know, because I'm involved in this ugly world of politics, that when they see that you can raise money using cryptocurrencies, you're going to see a whole bunch of self-interested people go, oh my gosh, I better learn a whole bunch more about that. That's going to be good for you. That's going to be good for me. Most importantly, that's going to be good for people regardless of their ideology, because it's going to have them access more of what you and everybody on this call are all about.
100%, Congressman Emmer, I totally agree with everything you just said. By the way, we call it digital migration, the process you just described, meaning the ability to protect your wealth and provide for your family without the need to physically move. That is one of the things that crypto brings us. I really wanted to thank for your leadership. I wanted to keep it short. As a courtesy to Brad, I will make the donation to you in XRP. So that will definitely happen. As soon as you move to the speaker after me, I will make the donation, and I totally agree with you. Once more people will see that they can actually accept donations in this, and this is an industry to be reckoned with, then we will see more movements. I totally agree with you.
Very focused on partnering with that, and I know
and the token XRP that lays on top of that.
Well, let me start by thanking you, Perry-Ann, for bringing us all together. It really is an honor to be here alongside Jeremy and Stephen and Matt, and I know Guy's coming up here shortly. I think to have the congressman, championing this town hall, and I love the fact that we called this the first town hall, because I think it only makes sense there'll be more. But as I think many of you know, Ripple has been around since kind of the early days of crypto and has been very focused on partnering with the kind of existing financial industry and focused on solving a real problem around global payments. I got a certain amount of joy, and it was in the Q&A session here, that Brian Brooks, the interim head of the OCC, referenced something I talk about on occasion, which is the fastest way to move money to London or Australia, wherever you're going, often is to put it in a suitcase rather than actually sending a wire transfer, which can take many days. At the core, and I'll be brief here because I know that we're running a little short of time. At the core, there are tens of trillions of dollars in cross-border payments annually. There's a lot of that tied up in how that system works, the infrastructure, and we really think by creating this internet of value, enabling value to move the way information moves today, there really is a way to unlock that value, it's good for the entire, frankly, the world, right? If we can unlock working capital like that and make it useful, I think that is great for the planet. XRP, as many people know, is extremely efficient in terms of its cost, in terms of its speed. But I am bullish on crypto broadly, and I think there's going to be a number of winners. I'll also just, keeping it short, I think something Jeremy said really resonated with me. People talk about where are we in this journey, and some people, I've used the metaphor of a marathon. Jeremy was talking about broadband, and Jeremy and I have both been around for a little while, seeing the internet develop. And I do think this is the early days of moving from narrowband to broadband. My first job in Silicon Valley was actually at a company called the At Home Network, which was the first company to roll out cable modems. And I think we're seeing that acceleration in that journey, and I think we're making great progress. So I'll pause there, and I'll pause there at the introduction. What is Ripple?
Well, I'm going to jump in, Brad. Again, thank you for everything you're doing. XRP, one of the things I love about it, and there's a lot to love, but there's you don't need an intermediary. I kind of love that, as people know. What's the biggest challenge Ripple has faced today?
I think you and the audience won't be surprised to hear me say that. I think that the biggest challenge Ripple has faced, and really anyone developing in the XRP community has faced, is the lack of clarity on how assets beyond Bitcoin and Ether are going to be defined by the SEC. And the absence of that regulatory framework, it restricts innovation. And I think having that clarity and certainty allows companies to invest in and accelerate activity that is happening organically, but it would just happen more quickly. I think we're way beyond where we were in the kind of crazy days of Silk Road and scams and some of the ICOs that happened. And it's been over 2 years since the SEC said that Bitcoin and Ether aren't securities, and that's a long time to wait, particularly at a time when we're seeing other countries like China full speed ahead with their efforts. And I think that that is an obstacle to growth, to kind of where we're headed. So I'm hopeful that we'll make some progress on that. And frankly, this type of session helps. Having Brian Brooks, the OCC, come out and speak about his posture towards crypto helps. Recently the CFPB highlighted some things around XRP specifically, the New York DFS. So, even the former chairman of the CFTC, Giancarlo, published some views on why he thinks there's a very clear legal case for XRP regulatory clarity. But look, I want to say I appreciate all the work that you are doing. Co-signing a letter to Secretary Mnuchin. I think that was calling on the Treasury Department to leverage these technologies to streamline how cash and supplies can move during this pandemic. It's really powerful. Your leadership around this has been phenomenal, and so I thank you. I'll also preempt, as Jeremy did. I won't do a demo, but absolutely going to be making a contribution to your campaign in denominated in XRP. But appreciate all you're doing here.
Brad, thank you so much. It's funny. You said we've moved on past Silk Road. Yeah, it's a long time ago, but there's a lot of members of Congress that still think of this in terms of Silk Road. Yeah. And when you say over 2 years, first off, my position's very clear. XRP is not a security, all right? But even if you want to do this, you want to have this discussion, the SEC, my frustration, as you probably have heard very directly, you brought up in a very nice way. Maybe you should be doing this job and I should be doing that one, because I'm not going to be so nice. Over 2 years is not only a problem, it is absolutely unacceptable. Because what this does is entrepreneurs like you and everybody else on this town hall, you start looking elsewhere. Money will go where it's easiest to flow. And the more the government puts in obstacles, and one of them is just inaction, the less opportunity we have to position the U.S. as the leader. And it's an obstacle to growth. So we're going to keep working. Really appreciate all your support. And together, we're going to keep educating these members of Congress. And as we're doing this, and you guys are saying I'm going to make a donation, forgive me, Perry Ann, because I know we are short on time. Again, do you know how powerful this is for some elected officials to look over and say, what's Emmer doing? He's getting what? He's getting, oh my goodness, campaign contributions. I need to learn more about what's going on with cryptocurrencies. It's just, it's human nature, and it's good. We need to push them.
Well, we want to help you in that push. So again, thank you for your leadership on this. I think it does have an impact. And look, it's been 2 years, but we're going to keep pushing.
Good, good.
Thanks so much.